Hi everyone, it's Graham again and welcome back to my channel. So today I am here with another Agatha Christie book haul. I've got 5 books to show you and they are all facsimiles of first editions, and I'm so excited to add these to my ever-growing collection, my Agatha Christie collection. It's getting bigger and bigger every day and I'm so happy about it because I just am. Because Agatha Christie is my bae and I just love her books. I love how gorgeously designed they are and the stories and the plots, the characters, just everything. So without much further ado, let's dive into the books. So the first one I have to share with you is The Secret of Chimneys by Agatha Christie. I had this in another edition, but I'd always wanted the facsimile. I found a reasonably priced copy of it online and had to have it. It kind of reminds me of the dust jacket design for Mysterious Affair at Styles, Agatha Christie's first novel. It kind of has that feel about it. A little bit less dark, but yeah, there we go. So I shall tell you what this one is about. I hope there is not. Okay, so let's have a look on Goodreads for a synopsis because there isn't one. Okay, let's see. Usually very slow, so I'll try and make it quick. Right. Secret. Okay. Right. Okay, so the synopsis for The Secret of Chimneys. What is the secret of Chimneys? A young drifter finds out when a favour for a friend pulls him into the heart of a deadly conspiracy in this captivating classic from Agatha Christie. Little did Anthony Cade suspect that an errand for a friend would place him at the centre of a deadly conspiracy. Drawn into a web of intrigue, he begins to realise that the simple favour he has placed him in serious danger. As events unfold, the combined forces of Scotland Yard and the French Surete converge on Chimneys, the great country estate that hides an amazing, and then it says read more, okay, hides, come on, let me click on it. Let me click on read more. Oh, that's not fair. Come on. Come on. Right, let's try again. Yeah, that's not fair. Okay, I'm going to come back to that. But yeah, there we go. It hides an amazing something. Secret? Mystery? We'll come back to that at the end. Okay, so in fact, I'll pop it there. So the next one is Cards on the Table, a Poirot story by Agatha Christie. I had this in another edition, but I'd never had it in this one, so I had to have it. And I think it's just gorgeous. Yeah, let's read what it's about. This case, to my mind, says Poirot, has been one of the most interesting cases I have ever come across. There was nothing, you see, to go upon. There were 4 people, one of whom must have committed the crime, but which of the 4? Was there anything to tell one? Was there anything to tell one? Does that make sense? Was there anything to tell one? In the material sense, no. There were no tangible clues, no fingerprints, no incriminating papers or documents. There were only the people themselves. In fact, this is the closed crime par excellence. The type of problem in which Mrs. Christie has always been most interested, and which, by its very nature, is the fairest test of the reader's perspicacity. Okay, I'm 35 and I have never read that word before. Perspicacity. I hope I've pronounced it right. 4 people are playing bridge, and in the course of the game, their host, who has been sitting out, is murdered. he can only have been murdered by one of the players while dummy. Now, any one of the four, given the right circumstances, might have committed the crime, for each of them is known to have committed at any rate one murder and is quite capable of committing, and then it says continued on back flap, committing another. As Mrs. Christie writes in her preface, there are four widely divergent types. The motive that drives each one of them is peculiar to that person, and each one would employ a different method. The deduction must therefore be entirely psychological, and when all is said and done, it is the mind of the murderer that is of supreme interest. No wonder Poirot called it one of his most interesting cases. All Mrs. Christie's readers will emphatically agree. I have not read this, but that sounds so good. I have seen an adaptation, and yeah, it's a good one. So I'm hoping that the book kind of holds up to that. But yes, next we have an absolutely gorgeous one that I've been after for ages, and I can never find it at a reasonable enough price. And I did, and I had to have it. It is The Listerdale Mystery. I mean, that's just so simple but so gorgeous. I absolutely love it. I have not read this one, so I'm not sure what it's about. Agatha Christie is universally acknowledged to be one of the greatest living writers of detective and mystery stories. So obviously this is a facsimile, so it would have been published in her lifetime. That's why it says living. Her magnificent craftsmanship, her tersely attractive style, her absolute genius for baffling her readers and then solving the problem with brilliant ease have secured for her books an enormous public. To those who know her best as the creator of Hercule Poirot, one of the most celebrated detectives in fiction, the present volume will present her in an entirely new guise. Here are stories mainly short and very much to the point, but all effectively told. Mysteries that will thrill the reader, however case-hardened he may be. Problems that will baffle him and that only the resourceful imagination of Agatha Christie could have devised. Okay, so I didn't know that this was a collection of short stories, so that's interesting. I look forward to getting to this, and I'm so happy to add it to my collection. So next we have Murder in the Mews, 4 Poirot stories by Agatha Christie. Now I knew that this was a collection of short stories, and I actually own a gorgeous 1930s paperback edition of this, which probably would have been bought in a train station for not very much money, and it would have been read on the train, sort of like the first kind of pulp novels of that era. But yeah, this edition is gorgeous and I cannot wait to get to it. But let's see what it's about. The four long short Poirot stories in this volume are absolutely first class. Agatha Christie is just as good in a shorter story as she is in a full-length novel. And in these 4 tales, she has devised 4 more cases to tantalise and entertain us. Or shall we borrow one of Torquemada's witticisms and call them 4 more little grey cells? Okay, yeah, we like that. That sounds really interesting and I look forward to getting to it. But there we go. It's exciting. And lastly, but not least, we have The 7 Dials Mystery by Agatha Christie. I love how 1920s and sort of Art Deco this cover looks. I mean, she's clearly a flapper and I love it. I'm there for it. I have not read this one, but let's see what it's about. So it says, this is the story. Another adventure begins for Lady Eileen Bundle, Brent, when a man is found dead in his bed at Chimneys, with 7 alarm clocks arranged on the mantelpiece. A number of clues lead Bundle to the shady area of London known as 7 Dials, where a secret society is gathering. But what is their intention? Now it says on the back a little bit more information, I think. So Agatha Christie, The 7 Dials Mystery. When Gerald Wade died, apparently from an overdose of sleeping draught, 7 clocks appeared on the mantelpiece. Who put them there, and had they any connection with the nightclub in 7 Dials? This is the mystery that Bill Eversley and Bundle, the 2 other young people, set out to investigate. And 2 other young people set out to investigate. Their investigations lead them into some queer places, and more than once into considerable danger. Not till the very end of the book is the identity of the mysterious 7 o'clock revealed. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to go on to Wikipedia, and I'm going to try and get the full synopsis of this, or see if the Goodreads one will let me in this time. Okay, let's try. Come on, work for me, please. Right, okay. Yeah, it's not going to work. So we'll do Wikipedia. Let's see, what's it called? The Secret of Chimneys. The Secret of Chimneys. What? I've spelled it right. The Secret of Chimneys. Ah, there we go. Okay. Okay. Right. Oh dear. So when they meet up in Bulawayo, Anthony Cade agrees to take on 2 jobs for his friend James McGrath. Anthony heads for London to deliver the draft of a memoir to a publisher and to return letters to a woman who wrote them. In England, politician George Lomax persuades Lord Caterham to host a house party at Chimneys. George's cousin Virginia Revel is invited, as is Hiram Fish, a collector of first edition books, along with the principals in a political scheme to restore the monarchy of Czechoslovakia, while assuring that newly discovered oil there will be handled by a British syndicate. Okay, so there we go. And then it says a little bit later on that the Koh-i-Noor diamond is involved. It's been stolen from the Tower of London and replaced by a paste copy. Okay, so that is what that's about, and I'm so excited. Now I'm wondering, are these like connected? Is one of these a sequel to the other? Because they both mention chimneys, and they both mention... No, they just both mention chimneys. No, they don't. Yes, they do. Do they? Yes, they do. Dearie me, it's late at night, what can I say? But yeah, I'm so excited to get to all of these Agatha Christie facsimiles and to add them all to my ever-growing collection. I will not stop buying these until my collection of them is complete. Whether they be original editions or facsimiles, I won't stop until I complete the entire lot. So yes, but yeah. Before I digress on again, as per usual, I will say thank you so much for watching. Whatever you're doing, I hope you have so much fun doing it. Whatever you're reading, I hope you love it. Stay fabulous, be amazing, be yourself, stay safe, and I'll see you again soon for another video. Bye-bye.